studying about chapter 2, and in this chapter 2 we are been studying about biological classification. Okay, so last class, okay, or the last video, you have seen that I have given you chart differentiation of biological classification. R.H. Whittaker. Okay, so according to R.H. Whittaker, we know that there are 5 kingdom classification, and these 5 kingdoms are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. So over here in the last video, we have studied about differentiation between all the 5 kingdoms, right? I gave you an easy way to remember all these 5 kingdom classification, and now in this video we will be studying in deep with the kingdom Monera, because I told you in my previous video that I will be dealing with each kingdom in detail in my further videos. So in this video we can study about kingdom Monera. Okay. So kingdom Monera is the first kingdom which is found according to biological classification, right? So kingdom Monera. So these are the bacteria consisting of prokaryotes. We know that animals and plants are of either prokaryotes or the eukaryotes, the simplest form or the complex form. So these are the only microorganisms consisting of the prokaryotic unicellular organisms. Okay, so here you can see that kingdom Monera consists of unicellular prokaryotic microorganisms. Unicellular in the sense it consists of only one single cell. Okay, so one single cell performs all the different complex functions into the body, and that's why we call them as unicellular microorganisms. Okay, and prokaryotic because they consist of simplest structure formation in case of bacteria. Okay, they consist of the simple cell wall, they consist of simple different cell organelles. Okay, many of the cell organelles are absent. Okay, and cytoplasm consists of nucleoplasm. Okay, and this nucleoplasm consists of the simple form of DNA. Okay, and that's why we call them as the prokaryotes, which means that the first form of microorganisms. Okay, so the next is these are most abundant. Most abundant in the cells, it means that they are much abundant in case of nature. We find these bacteria in case of all the different forms. Okay, just for example, you are breathing certain air. Okay, and that air which you are breathing consists of many minute, tiny microorganisms. Okay, air aatu, then coming back to the water, you take water, and this water consists of many different microorganisms of kingdom Monera. Okay, so leave water. Coming back to the soil, just take a handful soil in your fist. Okay, if you are taking a handful amount of soil, and in that soil also you see there are many different microorganisms. In the sense, we say that kingdom Monera are most abundant microorganisms. Abundant in the sense they are found in all the different forms. Okay, land ugly, air ugly, water ugly. We find all the 3 different modes of this bacteria, and that's why we say that these are most abundant forms of bacteria. Okay, then coming back to the most important thing, okay, that is they live in extreme habitats. Extreme habitats in the sense means that they live in many harsh environment. Extreme habitats, just for example, take the example of marine habitat. In case of marine, the salt concentration increases, right? Marine environment consists of the salty nature, and salt habitat increases. But here, these are prokaryotic and unicellular. So you can imagine that the cell wall of this bacteria might be like very simple. Okay, so this might be your imagination, but that is not the case. Okay, but here they have adapted themselves to the most harsh environment wherein even we humans cannot survive, but this bacteria will survive very easily. Okay, harsh habitats, for example, okay, you can take them as halophiles. Halophiles, for example, they live in very salty environment. Okay, extreme salty environment can be habitated by them. We humans cannot survive in salty habitat. Okay, so let's coming back to thermoacidophils. Extreme hot environment, very hot environmental conditions. Okay, and here also we cannot survive, but they can survive. And next is methanogens. Okay, living into gut of other animals. Okay, living into intestinal region of other animals. So here you can imagine gut of the other animal or intestine of the other animals consist of harsh environmental gases such as methane gas. Okay, very harsh acidic condition. Okay, the stomach also consists of acid. Okay, and this acid moves into the intestine and becomes very basic. Okay, and here you can see that the concentration varies, and in this concentration we humans obviously cannot get adjusted. Okay, it is into our body, but we cannot go and survive into the stomach of other human, right? And that's why these organisms can definitely survive because they have very unique cell wall structure. Okay, and even though, for example, even though now here these are very simplest microorganisms, but their complexity differs from many of the animals. Complexity in the sense they have learned such a way to stay into very harsh environmental conditions. That's why we say that even though being simple microorganism, they are known to be a very complex form. Okay, so these are all about this kingdom Monera. Okay, and then coming back to the next point, that is parasitic mode. Okay, you have studied about different modes of habitat, that is halophiles, thermoacidophils, methanogens. Okay, these are the bacteria wherein they go by themselves and get habituated to that particular environmental condition. But coming back to parasitic mode of life, we can say that an animal living on the surface or inner surface of other animal and being benefited all the time. Herein we can say that is the parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay, which means that parasitic mode in the sense they become or they act as a parasite. Okay, they become so lazy that they rely on the other animal for all their purpose. Food agli, reproduction agli, excretion agli, all the different purpose which is very necessity for the survival. What they do? They become very lazy and they depend on other organism for the basic condition. Okay, that's why they live the parasitic mode of life very easily. Okay, because they are known to be very lazier, and that's why they live a parasitic mode of life very easily. Okay, and then coming back to mode of nutrition. Okay, mode of nutrition, there are two modes which we see. One is autotrophic and other is the heterotrophic. In case of autotrophic mode of nutrition, we say that there are photosynthetic and chemosynthetic mode of autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic in the sense means that an animal or a plant synthesizing their own food. For example, in case of plants, there are chlorophyll pigments. Okay, with the help of photosynthesis in presence of sunlight, this chlorophyll pigment get activated and they synthesize ATP. Okay, they just go on producing their own food. Okay, and that is called as autotrophic. And in the same thing, we have photosynthetic autotrophs and chemosynthetic autotrophs. Photosynthetic autotrophs in the sense means that in presence of sunlight, they prepare their food. Whereas chemosynthetic autotroph means that in presence of inorganic gases or inorganic nutrients such as nitrates, ammonia, okay, these are present in soil soil. Okay, and in presence of this, they just go on capturing all this inorganic salts, and then they prepare their own food. Okay, that is called as chemosynthetic autotroph, which means that chemo is chemical, synthetic is synthesizing their own food. They take certain chemicals and they synthesize their own food. That is called as chemosynthetic autotrophs. Next, coming back to heterotrophs. Heterotroph is easy mode of nutrition, that is depending on the other animal for their nutrition. That is heterotrophic. So all these conditions we come across in kingdom Monera. Okay, so these are the different sets of keys. Okay, in taxonomic category, taxonomic aids, we have studied about certain set of keys, right? Keys are nothing but certain set of characters are given. Okay, similarities and dissimilarities. So these are the characters which we choose for the kingdom Monera, and whichever bacteria or whichever microorganism follows all these particular rules, then we take that bacteria and place in kingdom Monera. Is it clear? So these are the set of conditions. Say for example, conditions, characters or rules, whichever you take, whichever you agree with. But we can say that these are the set of different characters which are decided by the kingdom Monerans, and whichever organism certifying these particular set of characters are carried and placed in case of kingdom Monera. Is it clear? So this is about the basic characters of kingdom Monera. Okay, so now I shall repeat in case of Kannada because many of the students have asked me about this. But make sure that you go on practicing English too, because there are certain words which you have to write only in English. For understanding purpose, I can use Kannada for you all, but technical words I will not be using in Kannada language. Is it clear? Yes. So here you can see that now kingdom Monera anna tagondidaga, what we can see now basic characters anna consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ characters ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈಗ ನೋಡೋಣ. Okay, so one is the first character ಏನಿದೆ, the kingdom Monerans are unicellular prokaryotic. Okay, prokaryotes ಮತ್ತು eukaryotes ನಡುವೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೀವು 10th ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನಾಗ ಕಲ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, prokaryotes ಯಾವುದು, eukaryotes ಯಾವುದು. So prokaryotes ಅಂದ್ರೆ these are the simplest form of bacteria. Okay, they have very simple form of different structures, cell organelles absent irtav. Okay, all these are prokaryotic characters. And unicellular andre these are only single cell bacteria. Okay, and here kingdom Monera ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆ kingdom Monera ದಾಗ basically we place all the unicellular and prokaryotic microorganisms. Okay, and then most abundant andre these are you ಏನು ಅದಾವಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ, ಇವು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ನೇಚರ್ದಾಗ. ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ, ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಏರನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ, ವಾಟರನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಾಯಿಲನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ದೀಸ್ ಏರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ತಗೋತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್, ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಫಿಸ್ಟ್ದಾಗ ನೀವು ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ಫಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ನ ನೀವು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ನಾಗ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೂ ಲಕ್ಷಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ microorganisms. Okay, that's why we say that these are most abundant microorganisms. Okay, next is live in extreme habitats. Extreme habitats andre ನಾವು ಯಾವ habitats ಅನ್ನ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಆ habitats ಅನ್ನ new microorganisms ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ವೈವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದೇನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟೇಟ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಸಿ ದೀಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸಿಟಿಕ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೆ, ಫುಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಇವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೇಸಿ ಇರ್ತಾವಂದರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ತಾವು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ಅದರ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸಿಟಿಕ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ದಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಫುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ತಾವೇ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ತನ್ನ ಫುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫಿಕ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಮಗೆ 2 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್, ಅದರ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಕೀಮೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್. ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್. ಕೀಮೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನೇನು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ನೇಚರ್ದಾಗ, ಆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮ ಫುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೀಮೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಫ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಮೊನೆರಾ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾರ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಸಿಕ್ತಂದರೆ ಆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಮೊನೆರಾದಾಗ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ನಾವೀಗ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ that consist of kingdom monera. Kingdom monera consists of archaebacteria, eubacteria and mycoplasma. So now coming back to archaebacteria. Okay, archaebacteria andre these are the first form of bacterial life existing on earth. Any of the first form of life. Okay, ee bhoomi yavattu ready agittalla, are these first form of life to survive are nothing but archaebacteria. Okay, ಯಾಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅರ್ತ್ದಾಗ ಇವು ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆದವು ಅಂದರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಕಿಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂದರೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ವಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇನ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನೀವು ಕಲಿಯುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಅವಾಗ ಕಲಿತೀರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂದರೆ archaebacteria are the first form of bacterial life existing on earth. Okay, why they existed? Because as you all know, they can live very easily in extreme harsh environments. Extreme harsh environment in the sense mean that they can be habituated to very harsh environmental conditions. Harsh environmental conditions andre they can survive in halophiles. Okay, on the basis of survivalship they can be called as halophiles, thermoastrophils and methanogens. Halophiles andre okay, they can survive in case of salty area, and that's why we call them as halophiles. And then okay, hot springs. Thermoastrophils are the ones which can survive in hot springs. Hot springs are the one climatic condition where you find near volcanic eruption. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ವಾಲ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಎರಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಹಾಟ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ over there. Okay, hot springs are the one which consist of very hot environmental condition, and that's why these are the certain set of microorganisms or bacteria which are habituated to hot springs. Okay, and then last is the methanogens. So methanogens are the one which can survive in gut of the other animals. Gut in the sense, for example, methanogens are the bacteria which survive in the intestine of cows, buffaloes. Okay, example, cows and buffalo. Cows and buffalo intestine ದಾಗ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ organisms ನ ತಗೋತಿರಲ್ಲ, those are called as methanogens because they go on producing methane gas. Okay, and that's why these are called as methanogens. Is it clear? So archaebacteria can be habituated to very wall structure, which is very unique feature in them. Okay, they have very different composition of cell wall structure, and that's why this different composition of cell wall structure makes them very unique in nature. Is it clear? So this is about Archaebacteria. Okay, next coming back to Eubacteria. So Eubacteria are the one which consist of rigid cell wall. Okay, they consist of rigid cell wall. Rigid and very tough cell wall. They consist of very tough cell wall, and even if they are motile, okay, basically they are immotile. Okay, that is they cannot move from one place to other place. Even if they move, okay, they have a system called as flagellum. Okay, flagellum are the one that they helps into motility of the organism. Okay, these are tail-like structure wherein the beating of the tail helps into the further movement of the organism. Okay, just for example, okay, when we take the mode of nutrition, okay, we get autotrophic and also heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So in case of autotrophic, we can see photosynthetic autotrophs and chemosynthetic autotrophs are same. Okay, photosynthetic autotrophs, you can take the example of blue-green algae, that is nostoc or Anabaena. Okay, so blue-green algae, you can see the structure over here. Okay, these are green colored cells. Okay, as they are unicellular in nature, there is single cell. Okay, this single cell are colonial or filamentous. Colonial or filamentous in the sense means that one single cell and different single cell. These two single cells are living as a colony. Colony andre ನೀವು ತಗೋಬಹುದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಕ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಬಾಜು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೇಬರ್ ಮನೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವೆಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೇರಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೋನಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾರ ಕಷ್ಟ ದುಃಖ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. Okay, that is called as colony, and they live in the colonial or filamentous habitat. Okay, which means that they are a single unicellular over here. Okay, this single cell performs for themselves, this single cell performs for themselves, and this single cell performs for themselves. But then they stay as a colony because in case of very harsh environmental condition or in case of any danger, they can just live together. Okay, that is called as colonial or filamentous habitat. Okay, and one such example is blue-green algae, that is nostoc. So this is the diagram of nostoc. Okay, nostoc or Anabaena both can live a colonial habitat being a unicellular form. Okay, and then coming back to chemosynthetic autotrophs. So these are the ones which take certain inorganic nutrients from the soil. Okay, just for example, Azotobacter, Rhizobium. Okay, what they do, these bacteria convert the inorganic salts into organic matter. ಏನೇನು ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಆಗಲಿ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ದಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ organic salts that convert ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ತಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗ, and that's why we call them as chemosynthetic autotrophs. And next coming back to photosynthetic autotroph, photosynthetic autotroph, that is cyanobacteria. Okay, cyanobacteria consists of nostoc, Anabaena, all these examples, and chemosynthetic autotroph. Okay, so what makes them unique? Because chemosynthetic autotrophs are, we have certain cells called as heterocyst. Okay, ಈ ಯೂನಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವಂದ್ರ ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ದಾಗ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ. Okay, and that's why we call them as the unique cells which are present in case of chemosynthetic autotrophs, and that are called as heterocyst. And then coming back to heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So in case of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, Eubacteria are always found in one or the other means because they have their major role in human affairs. Human affairs and ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಲೆರಾ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಟೈಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಜಾಂಡಿಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಟಿಟಾನಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಓಕೆ. ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಏನದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಟೈಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೋರಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಲೆರಾ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೋರಿ. ಯು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as these U bacteria which are there are these are very well known in case of human affairs. Human affairs andre food and fecal route. Okay, we take in food and this food is contaminated with this kind of microorganisms and we infected person leave the fecal matter, okay, the excretory product in case of humans that also consists of these kind of microorganisms and we pass these microorganisms in case of water. That water is polluted and the other persons drink that water and even they are been contaminated. So this is how they are in contact with all the different human affairs and that's why these are the heterotrophic organisms play a very well known role in human affairs. Is it clear? So this is about Eubacteria. So when we study about these two bacteria, Archaebacteria and especially Eubacteria, we come across a very specialized mode of reproduction and that is nothing but fission. Binary fission in the sense means that if this is one bacteria, this bacteria goes on dividing transversely or horizontally. Okay, transverse or horizontal fission is been seen and when one fission takes place we find two different bacteria and that is called as binary fission. And also in some cases we see spore formation. Spore formation means that this is one bacteria, okay, when the danger is been arriving, okay, when the environmental conditions are not at all favoring, okay, when they feel that they cannot survive in this environmental condition, okay, what they do, they undergo spore formation. Okay, they divide in many different numbers, okay, from one bacteria many different number division is been seen and they are captured in a spore like structure. Okay, so this spore whenever the environmental condition favors back, okay, especially what happens is you just take an example of Entamoeba histolytica, an amoebic dysentery bacteria. So in case of hot environmental condition they cannot survive, in case of summer season they cannot survive and what they do, they undergo spore formation and when the rainy season comes back the spore breaks off, okay, because they come to understand that this is the rainy season and they can break off because they can have the survivorship. Okay, that's why the spore breaks off and the new generation of cycle continues with the different unicellular bacteria. Okay, so this is the spore formation kind of reproduction and then is primitive DNA transfer. Primitive DNA transfer ದಾಗ ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ if this is one bacteria and this is other bacteria. DNA transfer ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ this is a form of mode of reproduction. Okay, reproduction ಆತಂದ್ರೆ further progenic DNA transfer ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, you cells ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ these two cells come in contact with each other. Okay, okay, and this is DNA. This is the DNA of other. This is DNA. This is DNA of other. You DNA transfer ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ. Okay. Okay, the transfer of DNA takes place from both the different microorganisms and here we see the different kind of progeny or the different bacteria has been produced. Okay, this is the primitive DNA transfer method which we will study further in case of further classes in detail. But time being you can just follow this concept. What is DNA transfer? Okay, so this is all about Eubacteria. So then coming back to the last type of group called as Mycoplasma under kingdom Monera. So Mycoplasma are nothing but these are the bacteria lacking cell wall. They do not have cell wall, they completely lack their cell wall. Okay, lacking cell wall in the sense means that cell membrane is present because ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ organisms cell wall ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ cell membrane one protection and cell wall other protection. But here we see only one protection, that is cell membrane, but cell wall is absent. Okay, and these are the smallest known microorganisms. Okay, ee world ದಾಗ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ smallest microorganisms ಅದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಆ microorganisms are nothing but those are called as mycoplasma. And then these are anaerobic. Anaerobic andre they can survive in case of absence of oxygen. Oxygen illa andranu no problem, they can survive. But here we all need oxygen for the respiration. Oxygen illa andre we die. Okay, and these are opposite to what we are, that is anaerobic, which means they can survive in the absence of oxygen. Okay, and these are pathogenic to both pathogenic to both plants and animals. Okay, pathogenic to most of the plants and animals because we have certain organs, okay, wherein oxygen supply is very limited. Okay, lungs we see vast majority of oxygen, but while coming back to stomach and liver, okay, intestine, you will completely consist of very minute oxygen, very minute concentration of oxygen, and that's why these are the microorganisms can survive in case of minute oxygen conditions. Okay, so this is all about kingdom Monera. Okay, if you have any doubts about kingdom Monera, you can ask me anytime, and next video will be all about kingdom Protista. Okay, I'll be dealing about these kingdom Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia in detail. So you need not worry. This video is all about kingdom Monera. So if just go through this from your textbook. Okay, I request all the students to go through kingdom Monera and be prepared for the next class of kingdom Protista, so that you can understand in a very better manner. Okay, I will be soon sending the notes of kingdom Monera and the previous classes, and you can copy it down into your notes book. Okay, meanwhile, if you get any doubts, you can ask me separately by messaging me, or else you can ask me in the comment box of the YouTube channel, so that I can clarify the doubts before starting the next video class. Is it clear? Yes. Thank you for watching this video.